one of those boxes now.
Hey, it's K2 Karama again, and we got another kitchen table passport box.
Oh, okay. Opening all the boxes is upside down today. So, I forgot this hat was on my head still. Anywho, so, Australia. G'day. They live upside down and everyone spends all day cuddling koalas. Not true, of course, in many aspects. Australia looks a lot like the USA with big cities and people dressed in casual Western-style clothing. There are some fun and interesting differences, though, and those are what we'll be highlighting for your kitchen table passport night. Lisa had a chance to explore Sydney and Melbourne during a visit to the country in 2011 and would love a chance to go back to explore more. Blah, 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 something else. So, Aussie pie facts. They're also referred to as dog's eyes. It rhymes with pies. Meat pies are frequently enjoyed while watching Aussie rules football. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, where the Melbourne Aussie rules footy team plays, sells 300,000 pies per year. Pie quality is defined as at least 25% meat flesh content, flavorsome gravy, and flaky pastry. Also, Aussies eat the pie with tomato sauce or ketchup. Debate rages as to whether the sauce should be kept cold in the fridge or served at room temperature. So the dish is meat pies, which I have a friend that likes to do meat pies, so this should be fun. Traditionally hand-sized, come in two shapes, round and triangle. Unofficially, they are Australia's national dish. Estimated consumption, about 300 million every year. In rugby, a slang term for score, crossing over for a meat pie, which means to score a try. And a 7-course meal in Australia is a pie and a six-pack of beer. So, let's see. Let's find our mementos real quick.
Memento.
We got... This month, the mementos are Australian Opal, a sample of Vegemite, and an Aussie Rules football stickers. So here's the stickers. I guess Hawks or something?
Yeah. Hawks.
Pretty cool.
I heart Hawks. Hawks made from brown and gold.
Got made from brown and gold. Tasmania, always Hawks.
All these stickers, man.
It's a postcard. Of course, I don't know who this guy is, but some of you might. And it says, "Hi, Hawks fan. Make sure you check out all the latest news on hawthornefc.com.au throughout the year. I look forward to seeing you at the Hawks game. Go Hawks." And there's their little mascot guy jumping around there. So, we got that guy. And, okay, so our little opal is in there, but I don't want to take it out because it's really, really small.
Yeah.
But you got the genuine Australian opal, national gemstone of Australia. Hold it up to the light and see what colors you can see. Oh my God. So there's like some red in it.
Huh.
It's kind of cool. I didn't know you could and it looks like the picture shows that they can be clear and kind of pinkish, or they can have blue or green in them. They're kind of neat though. Vegemite, it's what Australians have on toast for breakfast. Have a taste and let us know what you think. I'm pretty sure that this is not good. At least not for Americans. Contains barley and wheat. I feel like there's been... It's pretty gross. I'm not trying it.
It smells like an old beer. Like it's been sitting there, like after, that little bottom part of it? And it's just been sitting there.
Yeah, and what's really weird is
It's not that great.
I just heard that song the other day. I think it's called Land Down Under or whatever, where he says, "You gave me a bite of his Vegemite sandwich" or whatever. And I was like, what the heck?
You don't want to do that.
No?
I mean, you can do it if you want. It's like eating boogers.
What does that mean?
It's like eating boogers.
That's disgusting. Oh. No, that was gross. Oh gosh. It's like it's sweet, but like, I don't know. It's bad. Oh. Anyway. Vegemite was developed as a response to disrupted import supply of the British Marmite after World War I. Extremely popular on toast for breakfast, but also used in pasta dishes, burgers, pizza, and casseroles. It's made of brewer's yeast and spice additives, which give it a very distinctive taste, which might take a bit of getting used to. So, it kind of is old beer.
Yeah.
Opal is the national gemstone of Australia, which supplies about 95% of all opal in the world. The internal structure of opal makes it diffract light, so depending on the conditions in which it was formed, it can take on many different colors. The Hawthorn Aussie Rules football team, the Mighty Fighting Hawks, kindly agree to supply us with some items of their fans frequently buy. Check them out. Kind of cool. I kind of want to save this Vegemite pack, but I don't want it to get everywhere if it decides to melt. I don't know if that happens to Vegemite. I might just have to clean it out and keep the pack. Anyway, that was disgusting. And let's see, we got our little cards and our little spice pack. Spice pack is for the meat pies. Smells good. Greek oregano, French sea salt, ground Malabar peppercorns, ground grenadine nutmeg. Very earthy. I like it. Anyway. So. Let's see what it wants us to pair it with. Try lamb instead of beef. Spice it up with cayenne. Change the vegetable content. Some are made with peas. Or you could make just a straight vegetarian one, it says. What to eat it with? Serve up with a big salad or steam a big bowl of green beans with olive oil, garlic, and salt and pepper. If you want to get Australian, make mushy peas. Just cook and drain a 10-ounce pack of frozen peas and combine with a 1/4 cup of cream, 1 tablespoon of butter, and salt and pepper. You guessed it. Mash it all up and serve it with pies. We might have to try that. That sounds interesting. Anyway.
I want to try the meat pie for sure.
Yeah, we will. Alright, so wonder if the dog likes Vegemite. What? No? Almost had you. Alright. Hi! Jerks. So, why isn't Sydney the capital city of Australia? Blah, 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 blah. The Sydney Opera House was inspired by peeling an orange. If all the roof segments were combined, they'd form a sphere.
Wow, I didn't even knew that.
The design was chosen as a contest, but the winner, a Danish architect, never saw the completed building.
Oh.
The Sydney Harbour Bridge is the widest and one of the longest steel arch bridges in the world. When it opened, a retired cavalry officer charged and cut the ribbon himself. He was later taken to a mental hospital and fined for offensive behavior and also for maliciously injuring one ribbon. Yeah. That's why we're not going to Australia. These people are crazy. Like the ones that come here. What is this? How old do you think this amazing rock formation is? It looks like a wave of like sand, but it's a rock, I guess. Wave Rock near Perth is stunning and one of the oldest rocks on Earth. 2.7 billion years old, the oldest is a tiny zircon crystal found in Australia's Jack Hills Range. Interesting. Blah, blah, blah. The Great Barrier Reef. We know a bit about that. Yep. Is it a continent, an island, or a country? Largest island continent. Non-stop flight from Dallas to Sydney on Qantas is the longest flight in the world by mileage, nearly 17 hours. The outback makes up 2/3 of the country and surrounded by 8,000 smaller islands. Pretty cool. The Big Dipper is upside down, and then the Southern Cross is used more than an anchor point. Talks about the landscape. What do you think you might do on Christmas Day? Melbourne Comedy Festival is one of the biggest in the world. National Sorry Day on May 26 commemorates the effect of Europeans colonizing native cultures, and a journey of healing to a combined Australia are celebrated. Since December is the summertime, some people celebrate another Christmas in July to enjoy a hot, comforting dinner while it is cold outside. The largest free festival in Australia is Moomba in Melbourne, which when translated means up your bum. Anyway, there are many of ideas if this was an intentional joke. Australian Sign Language is different from American Sign Language. Struth, an exclamation struth, that is excellent. Arvo is afternoon. You don't root for your team, you barrack. Remember this one if you visit. Tucker is food. Chockers is very full. Brekkie is breakfast, often with Vegemite and toast. Fair dinkum is true or genuine. Apples she'll be. It means it will be all right. Yeah. What do you think that he is doing? 2% of the population are native Aborigines or Torres Straits Islanders who are different people. Blah, blah, blah. Aboriginal boomerangs can be returning or non-returning, which are used for hunting or warfare. There's about 250 Aboriginal languages, but only 20 are spoken today. The didgeridoo is a giant Aboriginal wind instrument still played today, which is what this guy has. Torres Straits Islands, blah, blah, blah. The people are genetically similar to those in Papua New Guinea and are distinct from Aborigines. String figures similar to the game of Cat's Cradle are a part of the culture and can be incredibly elaborate. Interesting. Name some animals you might see in Australia. Kangaroos and emus cannot walk backward, and that is why they are on the national coat of arms, a nation moving forward. But unlike most countries, Australians do eat the animals on their coat of arms. There are more kangaroos than people. A baby kangaroo, or a joey, is only 1 centimeter long at birth. Australia exports camels to Saudi Arabia. There are more camels than koalas. Australia has more deadly snakes than any other country. And the platypus, an egg-laying mammal, no stomach. Males are venomous from the spur on their hind leg. No native Australian animals have hooves, and there are no native land carnivores. Wombat poop is cube-shaped, so it doesn't roll and marks territory. The drop bear is a fictional animal made up to tease tourists. The Australian Museum even did an exhibit about it. So the drop bear doesn't exist, guys. Be careful. It's like our snipe? What's it called? I don't know. Why are there so many British Union Jacks everywhere? I don't know what that means. The British established a penal colony in 1788. The French arrived only a few days later, but too late to establish a colony. The government house is illustrated on the left. Early migrants in the mid-1800s were Chinese. Australia was the second country to allow women to vote. New Zealand was the first. Blah, blah, blah. Mining is a big industry. More land is covered in pubs than mines. I don't know. Ever been to a sporting event where a single game can last 5 days? Think not. Apparently, Australia is said to be the sports capital of the world. 70% of Australians participate at least once a week. There's a Victoria public holiday for the Melbourne Cup, a horse race that began in 1861. 80% of Australians believe there is a strong national culture, sports, honesty, friendship, multiculturalism, and being down to earth. The only city in the world to host a Formula One Grand Prix and a tennis Grand Slam tournament is Melbourne. Rugby, football, and cricket. Blah, blah, blah. I guess cricket is the one that could last 5 days, 8 hours each day, and still end in a tie. Rugby is popular. Yep. Apart from prawns on the Barbie, what else might you eat in Australia? Foster's, a famous beer, was started by Americans who left the U.S. to start a beer company. And many Australians don't like Foster's. Many foods have multicultural influences. A political debate was delayed to avoid conflicting with the finale of MasterChef. Australia has 60 wine regions, but they only started growing grapes for wine 200 years ago. 60% of the wine is exported. Kangaroo meat is an alternative to beef and healthier. Witchetty grubs are eaten in the bush and are said to taste like scrambled eggs. Weird. Milo is a powdered chocolate milk. Anzac biscuits were sent to soldiers during wartime. Abalone is a large sea snail, and Tasmania supplies 25% of the global harvest. A pie floater is a meat pie with a thick green pea soup with a ketchup-like tomato sauce. It looks really disgusting.
Yeah.
But whatever. Who were the first Australian police? Apparently Australians are the biggest gamblers in the world, largely on the slot machines or the pokies. They lose twice as much money as Americans. Ugg boots are Australian and considered too ugly to wear outside the house. Only a licensed electrician can change a light bulb in Victoria. Security guards at Parliament were banned from calling people mate, but it only lasted 1 day. The longest fence in the world is in Australia. Many fences combine to keep dingoes out. It's about 3,500 miles long. In 1954, a man later became prime minister, made the Guinness Book of World Records, drinking two 5 pints of beer in 11 seconds. Yeah. Bookstore sells books with brown covers and basic descriptions so you can't judge